Hey everyone, welcome to my library. My name is Melissa, and today I have the most giant of book hauls. It's pretty cozy, so I'm in my cozy sweater. But yes, it's a lot of books, guys. This is an accumulation over 4 months, so that's my only excuse. But yeah, my husband helped me stack these so that I can pull them and show them. And he was like, what? So, yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but I am here for the book hauls. They're my favorite book videos to watch. So, yeah, I'm excited to finally film this video for you guys and then get these books on my shelves so it's less embarrassing. Because yeah, they were stacked on the floor before behind my chair. So yeah. Okay, let's get started though. I have decided for everyone's interest and lack of, and just in the interest of time, that I would do two separate videos. One being for all the historical fiction, family sagas, classics, and then one specifically for romance. So if you're only here for one of those types of genres, then you can click into which video you want. Otherwise, if you want to enjoy both, they will both be up. I will probably post one a couple days after the other one, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let's just get started. So I will start with the classics first, and then I'll go into my historical fiction and family sagas. So classics first. The first one we have here is the second book in the Palliser series, and this is Phineas Finn by Anthony Trollope. So I read the first book in this series, Can You Forgive Her? And I really loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was ginormous, took me a month and a half to read. But yeah, I loved it. I love the writing. Trollope has such an impressive way of spinning words and describing things and really making you fall in love with the different characters he has in these tales. And so this is a series that follows, I think the linkage between the stories is the Pallisers, obviously, and they're a family that are in the peerage. And this is in Victorian London. So I read this for Booktober. I started it in October and finished it in November, actually. But yeah, so I'm not sure what this story will entail, but the previous story was about this woman that befriends the one of the Pallisers, the Lady Palliser. I can't remember her name. Starts with a C. But anyways, it centers around how this girl kind of goes back and forth between two lovers and who she ends up settling with, and then it's all about like the title kind of alludes to what it's about, where it's like, can you as a reader forgive her for slighting and being so kind of wishy-washy on her choice? And also it kind of just focuses on like issues at the time, like women's rights, marriages, political strife, like a ton of different things. And that's what I loved about it. And I learned from, I need to go faster because I have so many books to show, so this is the last thing I'll say, but the biography, or not the biography, the little description of Trollope and his life that was in the first book of this series, said that he is and worked as a mailman for like his whole life. Like he worked as a postman, and even while writing these books, writing his other stories, he continued with that. And I just think that's so cute and so endearing. Oh my gosh, I just love that little detail. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to continue in this series probably next year, and to keep going and reading Anthony Trollope because I loved it. So yeah, there's the first book. And I love these little editions. They're so cute. They're like kind of like hand size, but they are very sturdy. So I love it. Okay, next book. This is a book I actually already own, but when I was in Italy, I really wanted to buy a book in Italy, a used book of some kind. It didn't have to really remind me of Italy necessarily, but I just wanted to, I always like to buy a book when I'm, that was Andrew. I always like to buy a book when I'm traveling. So anyways, we only had time for one bookstore while we were perusing, and it was this really cute used bookstore. I'll show a picture right here of it. Adorable. But I was trying to find what is kind of tough about traveling or book shopping in Italy. And I don't give them any discredit for this. It totally makes sense, but everything's in Italian. The English section of a bookstore is very, very small from what I've seen. So it was kind of very slim pickings, I would say. So I finally settled on this book because I really liked the cover, and that is the Foresight Saga by John Galsworthy. This is a book that has been recommended to me many times as a great family saga. It's also like a classic. Here's the back. The back is cool as well. I love it. And I've actually seen the miniseries of this with the guy from Homeland, Redhead. I don't remember his name, but I've seen that series. And so I kind of know the story of this. But yeah, I just wanted to buy a book in Italy, and it was cheap. It was like £2. Not £2. Oh my gosh, €2. But yeah, it's really cute. It's seen better days, but I'm happy to own it and have it kind of remind me of Italy. So there's this one. Okay, the next book is another Thomas Hardy book. I've been collecting all of his books to read at some point. He's a favorite author of mine, and that is Under the Greenwood Tree. And this is just a really cool edition, St. Martin's Press. I'm not sure if this is like an actual picture of like a TV series or something, but I don't know. Cover photograph, never mind. But yeah, so I got this book kind of thin. I've heard good things, I think, about this book though. So yeah, happy to own this one. Okay, the next, that's a family saga. I wouldn't call that a classic. Sorry, I'm just organizing as I go. The next one is a really beautiful edition. I was so excited to find this. It's Eudora Welty's collected stories. So this is all of her short stories. She has been recommended to me as a very southern, beautiful writer. So she's known for her short stories. I'm not a short stories reader though. I wouldn't say I really don't read a lot of them, but I figured when the mood strikes, when I feel like reading a short story, I would try with one of the best. And I loved this edition. I just think it's so, so pretty. So if you guys have read her, please recommend what story of hers you think I should start with, or if there's a favorite of yours, because she has so many. And anyways, there's so many in this big, huge collection of them. So I really want to know which one I should start with. So please let me know. I would be happy to hear that. So there's that one. Okay, the next one is also a very, very pretty edition. And it's another Thomas Hardy, but that is Jude the Obscure. This is in this beautiful gold foiled, gold edged book. Let's see, I think this is, let's see. Oh yeah, this is an Easton Press. I was I'm pretty sure this is Easton Press. And look at this cute little book sticker here. It says, book plate, it says, published expressly for the personal library of James B. McNallen, January 1992, Alexandria, Virginia. And it made its way into my hands. I love that. And yeah, this edition is just awesome. Just so cool. Here's Thomas Hardy himself. Really cool, drawing, wood engraving maybe. But yeah, I couldn't resist buying this book. I bought it from one of my favorite vintage booksellers here in Phoenix. and $15. Like, yes, I will buy this for $15. So yeah, happy to own this as well. If you guys have read any of these Thomas Hardy books, which one would you say I should read next? Yeah, if there's one of your favorites that you think I haven't read yet that you recommend, please let me know. So yeah, there's this one. Okay, I think that's all of the classics. So let's move on to my historical fiction reads. So the next book I bought new, and it is Booth by Karen Joy Fowler. I bought this book off of the sole recommendation of Jennifer over at Jennifer Brooks. Yes, she has just sung the praises of this story, and I mean, I really didn't need that much convincing because it is a Civil War, like post-Civil War set book, obviously focusing on the Booth family. But actually from what Jennifer told me, or not me, told the world, this is a story focused on just the family in general, the Booth family, and not really on Booth himself. Like, it's not a biography of him or anything like that. It's just a reflection of like Southern family values and stuff. Like, yeah, it sounded really, really interesting when she was talking about it. I was like, wow, this sounds really good. So yeah, I mean, it says it's an epic and intimate novel about the family behind one of the most infamous figures in American history, John Wilkes Booth. So I'm here for it. I'm excited. I actually read a chapter of this one time when I had it on ebook on via my library, because I was curious if I was going to like the writing, and it was really pretty. So I didn't continue because I didn't have time. But yeah, I definitely want to continue in the actual hardcover edition. So there's that one. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm trying to think if there's any other, yeah. So these two books are from the same author because something I haven't talked about yet because it's been so long since I've filmed, but my favorite read of 2022 so far, spoiler alert, is Bluebird by Genevieve Graham. Amazing. Like, best historical fiction book I've read all year. I mean, best in general, but it was so good. It's a bootlegger story set in Canada post-war, and it's like a star-crossed lover situation, and it's very reminiscent of Peaky Blinders. If you guys have watched that show, she was, even in her author's note at the back, it says she was very heavily inspired by that show to make this historical fiction book. So yeah, fascinating story, and I loved the romance in it. It was so good. So after reading that, I knew I had to buy more Genevieve Graham. And she actually came out with new covers to all of her books that are not these covers. But I was talking with a friend over on Instagram, Jen, who also read Bluebird and loved it. And she told me that, yeah, that they had come out with new covers for all of her books. So like, if I wanted any of the old covers, to snatch them up before they're gone. And so that's what I did. So the two books I bought are At the Mountain's Edge and Promises to Keep. So, yeah, very similar kind of types of couples, kind of with the man facing away. I don't know what's up with that. But the other covers that are newer just have the woman walking away classic. So I wanted these ones. What's cool about Genevieve Graham that I really love is she is Canadian and she writes Canadian stories. So any of her historical fiction books are set in Canada and follow Canadian history. And I just think that's so cool. It's such a unique thing to do. There's so many other historical fiction books that cover the same type of stories. So it's really refreshing. So yeah, so I got these two by Genevieve Graham. I think one of them is obviously about a Mountie, And then the other one is 1755 in Nova Scotia. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so those are those. And I actually own other Genevieve Grahams already on my shelves. I own Come From Away and I own Tides of Honor. So yeah, this is just adding to my collection. Okay, the next book is one that I'm very excited about because the author has been highly recommended to me, and that is Daughters of War by Dinah Jeffries. So this is a World War II historical fiction book set in 1944 in France. It's the story of three sisters, and it says, in an old stone cottage on the edge of a beautiful French village, three sisters long for the end of the war. It gives me Nightingale vibes, like very strong Nightingale vibes. So yeah, I knew once I saw that this author had World War II historical fiction, that's the book I wanted to try from her. And this is actually the first in a series. So I think she's coming out with the second one soon, if not already. But yeah, so I picked this one up, and it's nice and thick too, so that's fun. There's that. Okay, the next book is an obvious one. I finally found a copy, actually, I think at a library book sale for like $2. The Flight Girls by Noelle Salazar. You guys know how much I love this book. I have sung its praises. It was one of my favorite books of last year, and I didn't own a physical copy of it. I listened to it on audio beforehand, so when I saw it in the library book sale, I wanted it, and to reread it at some point in the physical form. Fantastic story about the WASP program that was in, it's set in Texas, and it's all about these women who train up and coming Army recruits to fly because they, for random reasons in their background, in their life, knew how to fly. So they helped in that regard. So really cool story and fantastic love story. I loved it. And yeah, I mean, everyone that I've heard who has read it because of my recommendation has loved it. So including my mother-in-law. So yeah, there's this book. Okay. The next one is also an obvious pick. That is An Echo in the Bone by Diana Gabaldon. This is the, seventh book in the Outlander series. It's the next book I need to read. Yeah, I mean, I just ordered it on Amazon because I know it's the next one I gotta read. It's the classic super big floppy paperbacks that they have. I love, like, absolutely love these types of books. They're my favorite to read from because they just flop open so easily. The font is so small though. Oh my gosh. So the sixth book, not the sixth. Did I already say sixth? The most previous book I just read. Yeah, it's the sixth book. Blood and Ashes, whatever it's called. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm losing my mind. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But it took me a month and a half to read because these books are 1,000 pages each. But I loved it. I love this series, and I can't wait to continue. I'm definitely taking my time with this. Like I read one every 6 months, basically. So yeah, I'm taking my sweet time, but can't wait to continue at some point. So there's that. So the next book is a book I also bought from the library book sale, and this is The Secret Life of Violet Grant by Beatrice Williams. I have read Beatrice Williams before when she has been part of the 3 author books, like, what did I read just barely? The Lost Summers of Newport. I think she wrote with that. Did she write with that? Yeah, I think she wrote with that one. Yeah, it's like Lauren Willig, Beatrice Williams, and someone white. It's like the 3 W's. Anyways, so yeah, I've read her before, but not in just her own sole title before. So This is a World War I story, and it's two different timelines, classic. But it says, from the author of 100 Summers, a story of love and intrigue that travels from Kennedy-era Manhattan to World War I Europe. So those are the two timelines, I guess. So yeah, I think I looked this up on Goodreads and it was rated really high, so I ended up picking it up. So there's that one. The next one is one I finally bit the bullet to buy because it just sounds so perfectly up my alley. And I love the cover. Anytime there's like a couple embracing on a cover, I'm a sucker for it. So that's The Fortunate Ones by Catherine Hoken. The only thing I don't like about this cover, that I just hate that they did this, is this random ribbon at the top that says great price. It's like, you don't need that as a permanent sticker on the cover, but whatever. So let me read the back. It says, every day he stood exactly where he was directed. He listened for his number, shouted his answer in the freezing cold. He was ragged and he was starving, but he was alive. He was one of the fortunate ones whom fate had left standing, and he needed to stay that way for her. So it's a star-crossed lover situation. He's a Jewish boy. She's just a normal, like, German girl, I guess. And yeah, I mean, the war breaks out and they get separated, obviously, and it's about them coming back together. I'm sure it's going to be terribly sad, but it sounds really good. So I had to pick it up. It's super highly rated on Goodreads from what I remember. So yeah, there's this one. This cover is so good. There's that. Okay. The next one is one that was gifted to me by my mother-in-law for my birthday in September. Yeah, she gave it to me because she said I exemplified the title of this book, which is so sweet of her to say, because the title is A Woman of Intelligence. Let's see. It's set in 1954 in New York City. And it's about this woman who is a wife of a beloved pediatric surgeon, an heir to a shipping fortune, but she's desperate to escape the constraints of domesticity. Nice. Something about the FBI, too. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like a thrillery situation. Like she's kind of recruited by the FBI or something. So yeah, very interesting. Let me know if you guys have even heard of this book. Looks like she might have got it from Target. So yeah, there's this one. I love the cover. Very like golden age. I don't know. I think it's cool. So there's that. Okay. The next book, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is a book I finally own, because I have been meaning to buy a copy of this book since I've read it, which was like 3 years ago. And that is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. I got this book in Italy as well. I bought it at this adorable, it's like a library mixed with a cafe situation that we ended up touring randomly on this food tour, and it was beautiful, and they had this bookstore there, and I saw this book in the English section of the bookstore, and decided, okay, now's as good a time as any to buy it, and I love this cover too. This is honestly one of my favorite books of all time. It is so good. The writing is amazing. It's lyrical and like completely immerses you in this world. And the romance too was so good. I still remember it. And the movie itself too is so good. So if you don't have time to read the book, the movie does a pretty good job of capturing how the book is too. But yeah, I just love this. I'm sure I'll reread it at some point in my life because it was so good. And yeah, I'm happy to own this copy, knowing that I bought it in Italy as well. So yeah, there's this one. Okay, the next one is a mystery I've been really into my mysteries this year more than any year. I literally never read mysteries before this year and have read so many. I've been in such a mood for them, historical mysteries specifically. And so the book I picked up from the library at the library book sale is A Study in Scarlet Women by Sherry Thomas. Sherry Thomas writes romance books as well. But yeah, she's known for this series, this Lady Sherlock Holmes series. And I've actually never read the original Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. I've never read it, but let me know if you guys have read this book, if I need to kind of have read or know the background of that book to read this, or if it's just kind of like a play on words for the title. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm excited about this. I know that she's a very beloved author. Specifically, I think Tia in all the books really likes her books. So yeah, so there's this one. Kind of circling in on mysteries now. The next historical mystery I bought is Murphy's Law by Rhys Bowen. This is a favorite series of Janelle over at Oh my gosh, Too Fond of Books. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Yeah, I know this is a series that she really enjoys, and so I found this cute little paperback edition of it and wanted to get it. I know it's like a unique setting too, and that's what really kind of intrigued me about this series. It's the vibrant world of turn-of-the-century Ellis Island and New York. And it's an unforgettable heroine, Molly Murphy, a resourceful Irish woman who lives by her own set of laws. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of books in this series, if I'm not mistaken. So if I end up really liking this book, there's plenty to keep me going with. So, yeah, there's this. Okay, one last mystery, and then I think we can move on to family sagas. So, the last mystery is a book I pre-ordered, and it's going to be obvious why, even though when I got this in the mail, I felt bad for the delivery person because it's so huge. That is The Ink Black Heart by Robert Galbraith. Yeah, guys, this is a doorstopper. It is so big. Hefty. So, yeah, this is how many pages? Almost 1,000 pages. Just over 1,000. Which I'm actually stoked about. You guys know I love my long books. And to have a 1,000-page book to sink my teeth in with Strike and Robin at the center of it, I'm just so excited for it. I read Troubled Blood back in October, and I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for the TV show to come out. It's coming out soon in England, the Troubled Blood season, but I'm not sure when it's coming out in the US, so I got to figure out how to watch it. But yeah, so this is the next book in it. I know it's focused on a kind of like social media crime that happens. I'm not sure exactly what, but I follow the Robert Galbraith official Instagram, and they've had interviews with J.K. Rowling about like kind of what this book is about. And yeah, she's talked about how it was unique because it's about social media playing a role in this mystery, this crime. So yeah, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, I'm excited, and I really love this cover. It's very fall-esque. Makes sense why it came out in fall, but we'll see when I actually get to it. It'll be soon because I'm that excited about it. But yeah, there's this one. Okay. So now that I have stacked all my books over here that are very distracting, let's see if I can move them away so they're not in the view anymore. There we go. Yeah, okay. So let's move on to the final section of this video, and that is the like old school family sagas type of books. So the first one is one I am so excited to own the cover for, and that is Charleston by Alexandra Ripley. She wrote Scarlet, which was one of my favorite books of last year, and she's a obviously Southern history writer, and this is all about post-Civil War Charleston and how their world was obviously turned upside down, and how people adjust, and there's obviously some sort of romance happening here, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this story is about, really. I'm very eager to read another Alexandra Ripley. She really impressed me with Scarlet, which was already hard enough to do because it's obviously taking off of subject matter that is my absolute favorite. So with a fresh story that she has all the reign to do whatever she wants with, I'm going to be interested to see where this goes. So yeah, so I own this one now. Another favorite author of mine, and I bought this book. I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for me to read it. I don't know, but I bought it because everyone has said that this is one of her really good books. Tim by Colleen McCullough. So people have told me to watch the movie too, the one with, oh my gosh, I just spaced on the guy's name, but he's so famous. The guy in Braveheart. What's that guy's name? Braveheart. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson plays Tim in the movie. And all I know about this story, if you cannot tell from the picture, is that this is like a very older woman and this younger guy who is... I think he has some sort of learning disability, and it's like their love story, so it's very kind of taboo, and I don't know, but I mean, she did the same kind of like taboo-ness with the Thornbirds, and I loved that part of it, so I don't know, guys. But let me know if you've read this and if it's worth reading. And if it's not just like making you cringe the whole time you read it. But yeah, so there's there's this one. I liked the fact that this was like a cool cover, so that's why I finally ended up buying this book. I've seen it around many times, but this edition was kind of what I wanted if I owned it, so yeah, got it. There's that one. Okay, the next one, very like kind of coming off the Thornbirds train, we have A World Full of Secrets, and this is a very obvious like copycat of the Thornbirds cover. The font is exactly the same as the original, so they're very much trying to piggyback off of the success of that story. Even the title, you know, like you have the Thornbirds in giant letters, which they got me, so good job to them. Yeah, I bought this actually via a seller on Facebook that sells super, super cheap old books like this. She sells them for like 50 cents. It's awesome. So yeah, I really don't know anything about it other than it's the story of some sort of family and a forbidden love. And yeah, I mean, anything that tells me that they're like the Thornbirds, I gotta read it. And I gotta know if it's true, so. So yeah, there's this one. Okay, so the next one is a book I bought because of the step back really alone. And I don't know if I'm I'm gonna have to kind of see if I will end up reading this. I mean, it says it's like Gone with the Wind, so I could read it, but it's called Confederates, and the step back is amazing. Like, that's why I picked it up. And it says, passionate, somber, proud, the most admired, most acclaimed novel of our Civil War since Gone with the Wind. I don't know about that because I've never heard of it. But I got it from the library for like 50 cents. So, yeah, I can't resist a Civil War historical. So, yeah, so there's this one. The next one is very interesting and also has a cool step back to it. And that is 1916 by Morgan Llewellyn. I'm not sure how to say that last name. And it is a novel of the Irish Rebellion. Here is the step back. Very just landscapey with a tiny couple here. But so yeah, I mean, this is obviously set in Ireland in the early 1900s, and we'll cover that very tumultuous time in history. And it says 1916 examines the Irish fight for freedom, inspired by poets and school teachers, fueled by a desperate desire for independence, and played out in the historic streets of Dublin against the background of World War I. It is a story of the brave men and heroic women who, for a few unforgettable days, managed to hold out against the might of the British Empire to realize an impossible dream. Yeah, very, very interesting. A part of history I know little to nothing about, so that's why I ended up picking it up, because it just sounded so fascinating. So, yeah, I picked this one up, and it's huge, so that's exciting too. Okay, last book, guys. Last book in this video. Oh my gosh. So long. I can't believe there's going to be a part 2. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but this is the last book, and it's a James Michener. So I'm kind of collecting his books, at least the ones that I've been recommended and are kind of his most famous. I have this idea that hopefully will come to fruition at some point next year, to do a Michener reading event where, like, I've kind of come up with a running title, I guess. Master a Michener is what I want to call it. And basically the idea is to read a James Michener book in the course of the month. They're always big books, usually. I mean, the ones I've seen, I don't know if he has any thin books, but they're big books, so that's why it's a month-long thing. And I think it would be fun to have everyone be reading the same author, and kind of, I know he's beloved and that a lot of people really love his books. So either, you know, you could be one who's like me, who's never read his books but has seen them everywhere, or you could be returning to a favorite author, or somewhere in between. I don't know. So yeah, I've thought about it. Let me know if that sounds at all interesting to you guys. Maybe I'll try to throw something together next year. I think it could be really fun if that's something that people are interested in. But yeah, so I got this one because it's in perfect condition, like no crack on the spine or anything. And I know this is one of his most popular books. So yeah, I picked it up. Centennial. I think it covers literally like the celebration of the centennial. So yeah, a stunning panorama of the West. Anyways, yeah, that's the last book in this book haul. That was a lot of books, and my voice is almost gone. I've been sick, so my voice was kind of shot to begin with, but I needed to get this book haul done. It's been so long, and I'm so glad I did it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and it's time to get putting these books back on my shelves. That'll be interesting. But anyways, please like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you guys in another video, part 2, with all my romances. That's it.